have worked for Guilford County Schools since 1984 in May, so that's 38 years, 5 months. And as a zone transportation supervisor since 1992. I was a school bus driver all through high school. I went through university at North Carolina Agricultural and Technical State University, got my undergrad and my master's while driving the school bus and when I became a supervisor. A typical day in the life of a zone transportation supervisor is 4:45 in the morning. So that time you start taking calls from, if you have any call outs, anyone that has to have off or they're sick, so you start those calls. You start planning, how are you going to cover that bus? Then I start formulating subs if I have any, or how can I break that route up, get those runs covered. At times I've had to drive, but I figure out how to get that done. By the time that is ready, or if there's any lates, we do have some technology, Synovia, here comes the bus, we need to key in. If there's any delays, by that time I should be getting out the door and trying to ride on the road, do some observances at our elementary schools or middle or high schools, or just ride behind some drivers just to see what's happening. Most people would not know. They do not know how intense it is until they come into the office and observe what we do daily, just the steps we may go through to get those solutions and the different things until you get that, oh, I just wouldn't have your job. I wouldn't have your job. The reason I chose this time to retire, just life. Just life happens and things else that you may want to accomplish and do, and just like the Lord said, it's just time to go. My plans after retirement, I'm gonna rest a minute, then I'm gonna go to school. I plan on taking up nursing or EMT, something in that realm. And like I said, just take care of some family. I have my mother still living, so to do that, it's gonna be bittersweet to leave. So there's a lot of folks here and past, and we all keep in touch, but you know, it's gonna be hard to not see this every day. We affect so many lives, and just always remember that when you're talking to your drivers or your colleagues, your co-workers. Just, you always build this up, build you and this job up. It is not just a bus driver, mechanic, safety assistant, just not a, off admin, build it up.
I've worked for GCS, this is my 28th year. I've served as a coach and a teacher for my first 8 years, taught social studies in the history department. 16 years after that, I was the athletic director at Northwest High School, which is where I also taught, and got my assistant principal certification in 2019-20. Got a job at Eastern Guilford. I was there for 1 school year and as an assistant principal, and then came back to Northwest the following year as an assistant principal, and that's where I've been the last 4 years. It's literally very different every day. The situations and the things that we deal with as an assistant principal are very different from the situations and things that the teachers deal with. We deal with a lot of logistical things that try to help support classrooms, whether we're talking about discipline behavioral issues or academic support, or just kind of helping teachers be better teachers. All those things kind of roll into what we call a regular day for an administrator. 17,000 steps a day is the really shocking thing. When I look at my watch at the end of the day, I'm usually between 14 and 17,000 steps a day. So you think about that. There's a lot of just walking. We won a baseball state championship in 1998. We beat a team that was very, very good. We had a special group of guys. I was an assistant coach then. Coach Sandy Gann was the head coach. And that early on, you kind of, as a young coach and teacher, you think, well, this will be one of many. In baseball, we have not been back since. Everybody has different circumstances, and my circumstances were, I have a couple kids in college, and basically I had an opportunity to start a second career. So that really was it for me. So I'm not retiring and going home, I'm retiring to another job. Northwest, the people, the teachers, the administrators have really helped me grow personally, professionally, and I can't thank everyone enough. And I'll say this too, my year at Eastern Guilford, I learned a lot. I learned a lot because Eastern Guilford and Northwest Guilford are not the same type of school. So there was a lot to learn about different situations and different people, and some of the most loving, caring teachers I've ever met were at Eastern Guilford just for that year, and I was really fortunate to get that experience as well. I personally can't thank the people that invested in me enough, because at one point I was a young teacher and a coach and just kind of finding my way, and I made a lot of mistakes. And you learn from them, and you have people that gently point you in the right direction. So I really am very appreciative.
3 superintendents, 5 principals, many colleagues, and thousands of kids. I just see that I'm teaching some of my students' children now here at Brightwood. In a day I have 6 classes. Start with my 5th grade, then I go to 4th grade, then to 1st grade, then to 2nd grade. Then I go to lunch, and after lunch I have 3rd grade and kindergarten. And that's a typical day for me, taking them through different exercises and stuff. With the K through 2, they work on basically locomotor skills, developing those locomotor skills, and then 3 through 5, they do a fitness testing and developing the upper body strength and lower strength. Well, here at Brightwood, we have the father-daughter dance, and we have the mother-son dance. And what happened a couple years ago was a young lady came to me that wanted to go to the dance. She said her father had passed, and she wanted to go to the father-daughter dance, so she asked me would I take her to the father-daughter dance. So it started a relationship with us to, I started taking her for the next couple of years, and so we developed I developed a relationship with her family and everything. And one day after school, they called me to the gym, and her family was here, and they presented me a plaque, saying that you didn't have to be blood to be family and everything. And so they really appreciated me investing in her daughter. I've been here 20 years, and last month I turned 65, and my wife, she's also a teacher, we decided it was time. After I retire, I've already decided to become a life coach. I'm just gonna miss everybody. I've made some great friends, and from colleagues and all, and a few of us are still here that we've been together for at least 10 or 15 years, and so great relationships you build over the years. So I will miss them. Just enjoy my 20 years here. Like in the beginning, I was at 3 different schools, but Brightwood always been my base school. But then the enrollment went up here, so I became full-time here. So it's just a lot of friends and people that I've met, and it's been great. It's been great.
And exhaust those days before the disability kicks in.
For Gifford County Schools, I am the Retirement Disability Coordinator for the school system. And I have been here for 29 years and I like 8 months. With retirement, I help by going over the information on how many years of service they have. I include calculate their sick leave and add that, and either they're like 1 or 2 years from retiring is usually when we start talking. And then once it's time for them to retire, I have them go online to do their application. I go over their benefits, when they're going to end. I can give them an estimate of how much they'll get each month. And of course the benefits for the rest of their life. So I give them all the basic information that they need to get started with retirement. And they're always happy when I tell them they're going to get a check each month for the rest of their life. We have about 275 to 300 people retire a year. Usually I do about 600 to 700 phone conferences or meetings with employees each year. The most rewarding part is helping the retirees, because they have come in and they have worked all these years with kids, which I applaud. And because most of what I retire are teachers and counselors and teacher assistants and custodians, everybody in the school system that touches kids or work with kids that's the best part of all, to know that, hey, they are going to be rewarded for all the hard work that they put in. People have always told me, you just know. And I thought, what? I don't understand that. But they're right. You just know when it's like, okay, I got to step back from this. that it's time for me to retire and go reinvent myself. My plans for retirement is I have a new grandbaby, so I'm going to spend time with her, and then, just clean out. My house needs to be declutterized. That would probably take me 6 months to a year. I did have to do my own retirement. Of course, now with it online, it was, it was really simple to do it online, but yeah, I did my own retirement, which, is kind of strange, but I knew what I was doing.